Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that wanted to have a level of self-assurance and deep conviction that when they were making decisions, particularly when considering the needs of other people, that they could honor and stick to those decisions. They wanted to feel in a position of strength. In the past, they had felt shame or a feeling of expectation that they had to demonstrate their loyalty to the people around them by being ultra considerate of the needs of other people, even if it was to their own detriment. And they were very successful in business, but really wanted to have that ability to make the best decision possible, even if it meant occasionally disappointing those people that were around them, if they could make the long-term view that in the long term it was beneficial to everyone. So it's finding the right balance, but their assessment was that the balance wasn't in balance before. So I think this session is going to be useful for anyone that feels that they have to compromise on their own needs to put other needs first, or they can't just make a decision and then stick to that decision. They're backtracking. And if you can relate to that, then you might benefit from this session. Obviously, it was created for a very specific individual. Not all of the suggestions are going to be relevant or make sense for you. So if you feel that a bespoke, tailored session would be useful, there will be a link in the show notes to schedule that completely free. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. As they close, feel a release of energy, a wave of relaxation. Breathing in and breathing out. Start to scan your body for any clues of echoes perhaps of tension or stress. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And that's it, just releasing that tension. Slowly but surely in every outward breath. I want you to think of the character traits that you admire most. And imagine as you breathe in, those qualities are going in through your nose, filling your lungs, being absorbed there into your DNA. Every cell in your body is absorbing these character traits. You decide what they are, but don't be surprised if confidence, self-assurance, discernment, and perhaps decisiveness are just some of those qualities that you're breathing in. And allow the opposites to leave your body in that outward breath. uncertainty, doubt, hesitation. Allow your mind to differentiate between diligence and hesitation. At those points in time where you know exactly what the right thing to do is, empower your unconscious to make that decision quickly, with a sense of determined clarity. No upward inflection in your tonality when certain decisions are made. That invites a negotiation, a response. Empower your unconscious to subtly shift your tonality that exudes that self-assurance. Breathe in and breathe out. And just imagine a tiny well. Just a small one. And imagine that well is filled with infinite resources. And perhaps you can imagine a bucket attached to a rope and just pull up that bucket from that small well, filled with a liquid that has all the resources you need most right now. Imagine scooping a glass into the bucket and drinking the water from the well of resources, giving you a feeling of drowsiness. As you imagine what it would be like to drift into a dreamlike sleep where you could imagine a picturesque stream at the foot of a mountain. Imagine the shade, the breeze, the smell. Imagine feeling the soil in between your fingertips, seeing the color, the texture, the smell. And I want you to feel a wonderful feeling of harnessing the power of your unconscious mind. This stream is no ordinary stream. This stream can wash away two things: shame and the weight of expectations. When you have high standards, the expectations of others aren't helpful, just a distraction. So now imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is suitable to take a deep dip in this stream. Wade into the stream, feel the temperature of the water on your skin. Feel the flow of the current, the smell in the air. Maybe there is beams of sunlight breaking through gaps in the trees. Maybe it's possible to figure out the location of the mountain, that some of this stream water is flowing from natural springs from a mountain. Feel the pure water washing away any shame as you update a belief. And that belief is that not meeting the expectations of others, at best, is just cause for reflection, figuring out priorities, but in no way is worthy of shame. So as the shame gets washed away, feel that from this point forward, disappointing other people is now evidence that you are important to others, but also a feedback loop that could influence future decisions. But feeling shame for a previous decision could only encourage you to make poor decisions in the future. If you're willing to release any attachment to shame that could influence poor decision making, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Instead, feel empowered to be strong, decisive, but also empathetic in your decision making. You can consider the needs of other people. But from this point forwards, the cart does not lead the horses. You will make decisions based on the optimal use of your time and resources, considering all the variables, but unafraid to make good decisions. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So feel that the stream is washing away not just shame, but the weight of expectations. Expectations alludes to the idea of entitlement. I want you to get a sense that you're willing to trade your expectations for appreciation, and therefore it's only fair that other people do the same. That when you make an effort, when you invest time and resources for other people, that should be based on that being appreciated, not expected. So allow the weight of expectations to be washed away and unlock a wonderful feeling of mutual respect, appreciation, a feeling of reciprocity. It's not a one-way street, a two-way street. You'll do what makes sense while considering the needs of other people, but it's one variable to consider, not the driving variable. So breathe in and breathe out. Feel that this stream water is getting warmer, more relaxing. Feel that you're floating at the top of the stream, but without moving. You can feel the current, but remain stationary. Feel a wonderful sense that you can recognize your capacity to make wise decisions that truly reflect your character and your values. You acknowledge that you are excellent in assessing the best use of your time and resources. Feel how good it feels to have released that shame associated with not meeting others' expectations. Giving yourself permission to acknowledge your capacity to make good decisions and good choices. Choices that feel right for you. Harness the principle of Pareto. Weighing up what's going to give you the biggest return of your time, energy, and resources. Willing to prioritize the high return use of your time and energy and giving less priority to those areas in your life with diminishing returns, knowing that you can always make up for certain things in the future. Just because you can't give someone your time now doesn't mean you can't give them time later. As you start making more decisions on what makes sense. Because you have a right to choose your commitments without guilt or apology, understanding that people are reasonable simply by giving a reason. So even if you don't need to give a reason, feel that you can, if it helps, to lead to empathy for you in the same way that you have empathy for others. Your self-identity is a man of character. But what if one of those characteristics is decisiveness, intelligence, capable decision-making? You can still be that person of character every time you make the best possible decision. And in doing so, don't be surprised if you're giving a gift to others, giving them an opportunity to also contribute, to help, to assist. Feel that deep sense of self-assurance that your choices are thoughtful and deliberate. But also allow your unconscious and intuition to provide a feedback loop. By being decisive, you get to make decisions. But not every decision you make will be correct when seen through the lens of hindsight. You will learn from decisions that weren't optimal to make even better decisions in the future. Recognize that being selective and discerning is a mark of a man of character and wisdom. Each decision comes with clarity and purpose, reinforcing your identity as a decisive leader. And you can feel secure in the knowledge that by choosing fewer, richer experiences, you enrich your life and others, enabling you to be truly present when you do decide to spend time with people that matter. You can trust that each deliberate choice strengthens your confidence and sense of self. The shame, the weight of expectation is all washed away, and instead you feel filled with a sense of self-assurance, confidence, decisiveness, but also humility, willing to learn when what you thought was excellent decisions could be improved upon. Imagine leaving that stream, finding yourself there on the bank, drying yourself down. Feel a sense of solid certainty with your feet on solid ground, and allow this sense of certainty to influence future decisions. Breathing in and breathing out, feel like you can return to the present. Taking all of these changes with you, subtle changes in your hierarchy of values. Your ability to be even more discerning and decisive. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully into the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.